All right, let's go ahead and talk the middle. So again, thank you to proedgepaintball.com for sponsoring this video. Be sure to click the link in the description and it'll take you right over to the site. Use Watch, Learn, Win, and you'll be able to get 25% off of any Pro Edge related products. So anything that they have custom for them, you can go ahead and get 25% off. I don't know how long that's gonna last, but yeah, go over and check those deals out. So again, getting into the craziness of this MVPS layout for the Winter Classic, let's talk about the middle. Now, I always enjoy playing the middle. It's one of those things that it's either really aggressive or you have to pick your shot, making sure that you're making moves to make sure that you can cut people off. So how is it that you can effectively do that on this field? So I'm going to split this into kind of two halves. So first we'll do the brick and everything over, and then we'll do this side. And then in another video, we'll do the Dorito side. And if you haven't watched the snake side one, go over and watch that as well. So this small wing, so see the arrow, that's the way that the slope is going down. So that's going to make it difficult to shoot down the wire because you have to kind of tilt your gun a little bit more. It's going to be hard to fight out of there. It's not necessarily fun to do that, but if they haven't gotten wide and you're able to stop them from getting into the snake, if you get to here and just kind of lay down essentially and then just shoot, you can keep a lot of people from moving out. And that's going to be something beneficial to now your snake players can then move down the field a lot easier because they don't have to battle someone. They just have to fight someone cross field and you're able to hold that zone. I wouldn't say stay here. Paintball is chess, so that's not always the case, but the only other shot that you really have is this inside shot going into the 50 wing. And if they're there, you're going to run into a lot more problems than having to shoot them out of there. But if for some reason maybe someone does a crazy run and dives to the Dorito 4 off the break, then you can switch and shoot this gap to make sure that you can do that. But you can see how much better the shots are from this brick. This brick is, I think, going to be pretty deadly. I think the fact that, well, let's look at the Dorito side shots. You have pretty much every single gap except for this one and this one. So if they do get past the Dorito 1 to 2 and then 2 to 3, you can stop them from moving down the field completely. You can sit there and just shoot that gap. It's going to be boring. I understand it. Sometimes playing the middle can be boring, but again, you're trying to outsmart and slow down the other team to make it where you're going to be the most effective. So being able to shoot these gaps is going to be super helpful for your team. You also can make it where this guy can now no longer come over to maybe try to assist at the snake side. If you shoot the inside and they try to shoot back at you, well, you're just making it a lot more difficult. Then the only other place that they can go is up to a pin, which I don't think that pin is going to be playable, but you never know, or try to fill out into the Dorito 1, which then you have that shot. So this could be a pretty solid section to go to. This is not one of those sit and wait to bait the player to make the move. This is definitely a bring a bunch of paint and shoot through that gap and make it where that person can't breathe and just kind of wear them down until eventually they are run down by your teammate or get eliminated by someone else. On the snake side, it's not bad. You do have this shot again, so being able to see someone leave to try to go into the snake or trying to run into this brick, this shot through here is going to be pretty solid. So even if they put you in and you roll off a little bit, you can pull back and shoot that same shot and be able to eliminate someone going into there. You also have the shot on the outside, so if they try to stay low to crawl up to here, you have that shot. Same thing, I didn't even put it, and I just realized it looking at it here, through here. Now, if they somehow dive across, you're not going to be able to shoot them if they're close and hugging that beam, but if their pack comes up a little bit, you got them all day. And then, of course, if they try to make the move, then you can watch that same gap. So you're able to do a lot from this brick. I'm not saying that you should send 2 people here, but that might not actually be a bad idea to be able to cut up every so often, cut up what is it that the other team is doing. Or maybe they're a very snake-heavy team or Dorito-heavy team. Well, that brick might be an option to throw in there so that way you can have someone to watch whatever side side it is you need to. Now, this little W is not going to be fun to play, just so you know, especially being right there. If you get run down, it's not going to feel great because someone can come straight through here and bunker you. But you can sit through here and pump that same gap. So let's say you wanted to move up here and someone dives across, well, you can switch and shoot that. But let's say that they did get into the Dorito one and you were at this brick, you run right into this little Dorito, and now you can shoot this gap. They have to wrap pretty hard on you, and I think you should be able to roll off or pop the top real quick and shoot through this gap. You are not going to be able to shoot through this one, but you can shoot into this one. And again, it might be kind of boring, but it's something that's definitely going to slow them down. Now, getting over to the Dorito side, there's a lot more action and craziness kind of happening here. So this is a small cake with a small brick. You should be able to stand up behind it and not be too worried, but it's not going to be super wide. So you still have to play this tight. Don't play that loose, because those drop shots coming in are going to be able to go right over the top of that cake and maybe catch you in the pack. So you're not guaranteed safety in here. You do have a shot going into the snake. I don't think that this is the person to shoot that way. That's just me. This guy is probably going to be more, let's shoot heads up, see what's going on, and then assist, and then figure out, where do I need to go? Do I need to go to the brick? Do I need to come across? You know, what is it that I need to do to help out? Do I need to backtrack and go into the can and then try to filter out? Do I need to dive over to the snake? There's a lot of options that this guy can use, but you can see here that they do have some shots. This is going to be kind of threading the needle and is not going to be super effective, but if someone gets into that Dorito, at least you can throw it through there and maybe catch them, but that's not a guaranteed shot by any means. This green one here, so we have a stand-up giant wing. So the good thing is that you can stand up in it, and it's going to be a decent size. So you're going to be relatively protected, even if they are all the way up into the 50 wing. If you're pushed in and kind of playing this side, you might be able to stay safe. It's once they get to your side that's when things are going to be pretty bad for you. But if you need to assist snake side, this wouldn't be a bad spot to go to. You can shoot into a lot of these different gaps here. Shooting the heads up is not going to be fantastic, and then you really can't do anything to help out the Dorito side from there, unless you come up into this tower. The only issue with this tower is that because you're so close to the players, it's going to be pretty easy for them to snap out real quick and either get you or snap you out and then move. And, you know, maybe by the time you come back out, you might be able to catch them, but it's just really, really close. So at least when they're further away, you can shoot those deeper shots into the gaps and you're going to be more protected. But if you're comfortable with your gun skills, this could be a decent spot to get to. This wing, so the slope is going that way. You can see the arrows there. So you can shoot into the snake side again. This one is going to be a little bit more beneficial for your Dorito side containment. So you're able to shoot into that same zone to the Dorito 2 to 3. You can wrap a little bit and shoot into that brick. It's not a guaranteed shot again, but it's there. Into that gap, so if they haven't gotten out wide and you come up here, pump paint through there, and it's going to be really hard for them to move out, and shooting into these gaps like I had mentioned. So this middle is going to be a lot of quick reaction. So World Cup was kind of like this. You had options and just figuring out, where do I need to go real quick, and then how is it that I can help? So understanding where is it that I can go as a player, if you play in the middle, to best assist the team is going to be super, super vital. So making sure that you understand, what are my strengths, what are my weaknesses, and how can I leverage those strengths to make me more effective on the field. So that's the middle. We're going to jump into the Dorito side and some possible bounce shots. I'm not saying these are 100%, but just something that you can try out. There's definitely going to be some other ones, I'm sure. Make sure to check out the snake side video if you haven't yet, and thank you again to ProEdgePaintball.com for sponsoring this video. I will see you guys in the next one, and as always, remember, watch, learn, win. Thanks.